Big in my eye, cause my eye's stupid. Brought to you by Ricola. Where you at? I need you to touch something, not me. Don't you touch me, George. We had a deal, $50 and you don't touch me. Take you to Ghost R Us later, alright, if you don't kill me.
What? No. No, I'm not. Well, no, I'm not in the van again. What makes you say that? Yeah, because I just hop in the van and just try to random places to look for ghosts. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. No. Uh-huh. No, I'm not in the van. No, I told you, the boys and I went bowling. Yes, bowling. Well, I don't know. Maybe he lied to his wife.
So, let's go over pros and cons. One con. Stupid. Already went over pros and cons. Already went over the pros. Oh my god, I'm stupid.
Chuck.
Alright, so we're going to try to see if we can get him to interact. George, you still here, buddy? Don't be shy. George is giving me the finger. Look at that. He's like, come on back in the house, buddy. Hey, Buckle Sniffers, thanks for stopping by. Make sure to hit subscribe and follow for more content. And if you like what you see, definitely give it a thumbs up. Thanks again and have a great day. Hi everyone, it's ChuckleNoris with Ambivalent Gaming, and today we're going to be going over the EMF, or the Electromagnetic Field Reader, for Phasmophobia. And this is a nice tool because you can use it to track any ghost that there is. It does have some pros and cons to it, and it is a vital piece of equipment to determine what kind of evidence you have for the ghost. And we're just going to go ahead and jump right into it. Today, my partner, my assistant, is going to be the lovely George Anderson. And we're going to go ahead and we already have 2 EMFs in our gear, so we're going to turn one on, and I'm going to kind of go over some things with this. Alright, let's get inside. I already know where he's at, so we're going to go in there and we're going to talk to him. I'm going to drop one EMF reader right here. That's going to be important for later. Alright, as you can see, he's been making a mess. He's wrote in the book for me. Let's see if we can find him. Alright, so right here, we're just using this. Anytime a ghost interacts with anything, whether it's opening or shutting a door, turning off lights, knocking stuff off a shelf here, they give off that energy. That's why it's called electromagnetic field, is they give off that energy, and you can trace it with these meters, which also happen to be real life equipment. So he's around here somewhere. Alright, George, let's not be shy in front of the people, shall we? Let's be professional about this. Well, there you are. Touch the door. And he's an EMF 5, which is going to be important for another lesson down the road. Right? So, a couple things about the EMF. You have to be within a certain range of them. See? There's the cutoff. Very nice, George. Thank you. And when I get away from it, boom. Or when the energy dissipates, it will stop. So if I go back up there, eventually it dies. So there we go for the EMF. Let's come downstairs and talk a bit. So when you come into a house, we're at Grafton right now. When you come into a house, you have to be able to sort out what are the ambient noises, what are the house noises, and what are the ghost noises. So the house noises are the creaks like this, even when you don't. Okay, I'm creaking up and down the stairs. The natural way that the house is kind of settling, and it kind of makes some creaks and stuff. If you're in a basement, basements will make different noises and stuff. This right here is important, and including knowing what the sound of the rain is outside, because you don't want to get caught into, well, I thought I heard a noise, and then you try to investigate the area and you're getting nothing. So then you're just chasing your tail. Yeah, so you don't want to end up chasing your tail. So you want to understand what it sounds like. So let's have George make some noise for us. You already heard the door. Let's see if we can get him away from the door and throw some items for us. Hey George, you throw something for me? Come on, George, throw something. Alright, I know you're in here, dude. I see my breath. You throw something for the people so they can hear it. You can just hear an ambient noise there. See? It's really that simple. Now, you can go through an entire house, like I did with George earlier, and not find him or get any evidence whatsoever. He was pretty shy. But energy's gone, that's it. So when you hear something, you literally only have probably 5 to 10 seconds to get over there before the ghost moves on or the energy goes away. So that includes if he hits the light switch would go off. If you have a book and they start writing in the book, the EMF will start going off. In fact, anytime you lay a book down and you have a free EMF, you might want to lay the EMF down next to the book. The reason why is because then if I go walking off because I can't trace him, I think he's in there, but I'm going to go look for the bone, or I'm looking for the Ouija, or maybe I'm dealing with twins, so I'm going to go investigate another area. If I leave the EMF with the book and I hear it off in the distance, I know that he's starting to write in the book, or he's interacted within that area. So it allows me to come back and investigate a little bit further. So actually, let's see if I can try that. I'm going to go back into the van, grab a book, and I'll be right back. Alright. Got a book. Let's see if he'll write again for me, since he's already done it once. He likes this door here, so I'm going to leave the book here. EMF. Lord, Chuck. Alright, so we know he's next to the door. Let's see if he writes in the book again. Alright. Sorry, I moved it because he likes the book so much, but there you go. Look at that. So he started writing in the book. We know he's right here. He's physically right in me or next to me right now. So we know that the ghost is right here. If I was downstairs and I heard that, I'm like, oh, he must be next to my book. So the disadvantage of that, though, is he's obviously got things like the beer can. He's got the plate he can throw. But if I'm looking for writing, that's a good way for me to try to get him to write, as I know he interacts with this stuff right here. So maybe he'll start writing in the book for me, which is why you put the book down in the first place. Video for another day, though. So I know he's giving me writing. He's in here throwing stuff. You guys have already seen all of those. Now we're going to kind of go over some good placements and stuff for it. So outside of putting it with a book, whether you're in a group or whether you're doing it solo, you kind of want to just place it somewhere where you think it'll be useful. Now, we're going to have George hunt here in a second, all right? And I'm going to leave it right here by the door. Okay? We're going to leave that one by the door. I don't know why. I just didn't keep it myself, but here we go. We're going to go over some pros and cons real quick. So the pro is you get 2 of these bad boys that you can bring into you, and you can use them as a perimeter. If I thought maybe I was dealing with twins and I didn't think that this was the ghost room, and let's just assume that this room over here was, I could use my second one, drop it or pick it up and use it to investigate to see if maybe he's roaming around. So it's nice because you can kind of, like the sound sensors or like with motion sensors, you can set a perimeter up with them that kind of pinpoint where the ghost is. Obviously, their use is to find ghost activity. So he just shuts the door. He's giving me a 2-pinger, not much energy. Um, Again, they can be used to let me know if the ghost roams. So at higher levels, skill levels rather, where you are in professional and nightmare, where these things do happen to roam, it is good because if you think, oh, okay, he can roam over here, I'll put one here, and if he ever happens to actually come over this way, I know because this will go off. So you can kind of set it off to the side somewhere farther away from the ghost room to see if the ghost actually starts to roam. Now, you only get 2 of them, so at this point, if he was roaming and here in Grafton, he could go between that room, this room, or the tool room behind there, or he can move downstairs. I only have 2 of these EMFs, so it's kind of a gamble where you place it. Yes, George, we're almost there. We're almost there. Okay, so let's go over what the EMF looks like inside the house. Or not inside the house. That's what the EMF looks like inside the house. So we have not seen George. We have not been hunted yet. So we're going to look at his activity. Typically, the total activity is tied to the strength of the EMF. Because we know he's an EMF 5, I can show you this on the total activity. Typically, if you're not inside the house or if no one's inside the house and he's interacting, there's a good chance that it's going to spike to a 10 by itself. The reason why that's important that no one's in the house is because you know there's no ghost events and there's no hunts going on. Okay. Let's see if he gives us a 10 out here. As you guys know, he's pretty active, so shouldn't be long. Now, if you have someone in the house and you see an activity of 10, they can correlate it with the EMF, or they can tell you whether it was an event or whether they were being hunted. Events will only spike for a little bit. Hunts will, of course, last a certain amount of time. With this being amateur, a hunt's going to last about 10 seconds or so. So that's what an EMF 5 looks like when I'm not in the house. I'm the only one here. All right, look. Only player in. There's an EMF 5 without me being in the house. The hunts and the events were like 2 minutes ago when I was finished recording this video. There's what it looks like. That right there is an EMF 5. So I wouldn't even have to bring an EMF inside the house. I could sit out here for 5 minutes, 2 minutes, 3 seconds, 30 seconds, an hour, and I get one of those eventually. I know that I have an EMF 5. Alright, so now we're going to go over some cons with the EMF. You got to be careful where you throw it. Right? Look at that nice little baseboard. Look at that. You throw it just right, it's gone. Now, it's not gone. But if you're like, man, where's that EMF? I hear it going off, or dang, where does that second one at? Or where's the one, because you only brought one in and now you don't know where you left it. It's probably in the baseboard. So, as you can see, you can very faintly see my crosshair. So, white, gray. White, see, gray. Right there, you know something's there that can be picked up. Boom. You can also use that tactic to find the bone if you think the bone's hidden under something like a baseboard or a towel. So that's one of them. The other one that you run into is roaming ghosts. So remember how I told you that you could set a perimeter up with these things to see if you can capture a ghost that might be roaming around. The disadvantage of that is you may not have them in the right spot. So then you're just going to be chasing your tail. Or if you have a ghost that's truly roaming back and forth, like what we had earlier with the EMF 5 reading, it's going to mess with you on where the ghost room is. So I previously established where the ghost room was before starting the video, but if I hadn't done that, I'd been chasing my tail back and forth trying to figure out which room he's truly in. The other thing you can run into with that is the twins. If there was twin was upstairs and that was the main room and I had something going on down here, it's going to make you chase your tail. Now, the best way to avoid something like that is, especially when you're dealing with the twins or a roaming ghost, is to take it one EMF reading at a time. Don't go scour the house looking for all the EMF readings you could possibly find. you want to go, and if you get one by the bathroom, investigate the bathroom. Do a full setup, no salt. Okay, put up your dots, get your camera, put a book down, and then while you're investigating that room, go to a second spot, set up there. Okay, put another dots down, put another camera up, put another book down, get your spirit boxes set up and stuff. That way, you're reducing how much you're actually running back and forth. Because if you have a roaming ghost or the twins, you could have 3 to 4 different spots at a given time. The other disadvantage, and luckily we don't have that here with George, is a Ryu, or again, as you guys will call a Raichu. The Ryu obviously drains energy off, so even if this thing is turned off, that sucker can still drain energy from the batteries and come down, and again, he's going to put it in the hammer lane, and he's going to come right for you. So if you're dealing with a Ryu or think you have a Ryu, pick all your equipment up before you decide you want this thing to hunt you, okay? That is if you're going to have to complete an objective that says you have to get the ghost to hunt you. All right, so speaking of hunts, we're going to get George to hunt us, and I'm going to kind of let you guys listen for a second on another advantage that we have for the EMFs. This is a pro, but this is going to be the last one we'll go over before we cut the video. Okay, so we know that we had the one EMF up here by the door. Boom, there it is. Put that crucifix over there. We're going to see if we can try to get him to hunt. Now, before you throw the EMF down, I'm going to put it right here. Why is that important? Okay, so I'm out bone hunting, for instance, or maybe I'm dealing with twins, or I have a roaming ghost. Whatever the case may be. Maybe I'm looking for the Ouija board. I'm out roaming the area, okay, and I'm waiting for the ghost to do something. So I set my EMF where I think the ghost room is. We know where the ghost room is. And then I also set the EMF down where I know he has to come walking down. He's going to spawn up there, but I know that he has to come down the steps. So I set my other EMF there. So that way as I'm over here, I can hear both of them. I'm going to hear the one go off because he's going to start the hunt. And then if I don't happen to hear that one, the other one happens to be a little bit closer because it's closer to the steps. And when he gets to the steps, it's going to warn me. It's like an early alert system. So we're going to hide back here and see if we can hear George go into a hunt. All right, let's see if we can trigger it. George, how old are you? How old are you? So we gotta get him to come downstairs. But you can see, right? If you're dealing with a myling, and a myling doesn't make footsteps, right? But they make the breathing sounds and stuff. They'll make the heavy breathing and shit. You're down here like, man, where's that bone at? Where's the bone? Oh, Ouija board. And then I hear that. I hear the EMF more than I do him. So, let's go and get out of here. Man, these characters are fat like me. So, Grafton may not be the best place to show where position in the EMFs will help protect you. When you get into places like asylum, campground, high school, prison, the really big areas, or, again, it could be a house. EMF is going to be a good early indicator. If we have a good idea of where they're at, and of course you can't hear their footsteps from a long distance, you can't hear them breathing and screaming and singing and crying from a long distance. When you set those up as you're going towards the ghost, it's an early warning system because you can hear those EMFs from quite a distance away. So if you're in prison and let's say it's coming out of B into A, and you're in A and you set those two down on the ground, because you've already determined you already have an EMF 5, so you don't have to use the anymore to determine if it's an EMF 5. Or if you've already figured out what the ghost is and now you're out bone hunting or looking for the Ouija, you set those down, you're going to hear those before you ever hear the ghost. That last hunt there, I heard the EMF before I heard him. Now, I also heard some of the doors shut, so I instinctively knew a hunt was happening. But that's how you can give yourself those few extra seconds to get away from the ghost or get to your hiding spot. Other than that, that's really all we have for the EMF. Checking my notes real quick. Yeah, I think that's it. So if you like what you see, definitely give it the thumbs up and hit subscribe. And stay tuned for more content. Thank you, everyone.